Well, it's October 20th, 1998 now. 1 Week by Bare Naked Ladies. Sadly, only number one for the titular 1 week.
Yeah.
Thank you. And the new number one is the old number one, The First Night by Monica, back at the top of the charts. All right. On October 20th, 1998, Richard Pryor was awarded the first ever Mark Twain Prize for American Humor. Okay?
I'm going to win that one day.
I hope you do, Logan. It's a big prize. It's been given out to such great luminaries as Billy Crystal, Whoopi Goldberg, Jay Leno, all our funniest
You're telling
comedians.
me I'm not funnier than those guys?
You were very, much funnier. They've done the last three I looked up. Dave Chappelle, Jon Stewart, Adam Sandler. So I like what's happening there now.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah. All right. Some big album releases this week. Silver Jews, a great band, the Silver Jews, featuring David Berman, who killed himself a couple years ago.
Is that Random Rules? Is that one?
That is, yeah, that's
Great
right. I
song.
gave you that song. Random
Honestly,
Rules.
one of my favorites.
That's the first track on this album.
If I ever make a movie, I might put that song in it.
Nice.
Great guitar solo, a little acoustic guitar solo.
Yeah, there is. You're right. American Water is the name of that album. Great album. He co-wrote it with Stephen Malkmus of my favorite band, Pavement. New album released, The New Radicals with Maybe You've Been Brainwashed Too. Now that went on. That's their only album. They broke up right after this, but it had a huge hit on it. What was that song called? You only get what you give. Yeah, that was
Don't give up.
Yeah,
is that one?
I got the music in you. And now
That's a great song.
I always remember the interlude of that song, Logan, because he takes pot shots at some popular music stars of the day. Would you like to hear it?
Yeah.
Here's the interlude. Fashion shoots with Beck and Hanson, Courtney Love and Marilyn Manson. They're all fakes. Run to your mansions. Come around. We'll kick your ass in.
Wow. Got him.
You got him. You fucking got him.
Did something happen with Marilyn Manson recently?
Well, he sued Evan Rachel Wood for defamation of character, but they were like, fuck off. You raped her and shit. So no.
Yeah, I guess that's not good.
Yeah, it got thrown out of court.
Okay.
The other big new album released this week, 98 Degrees and Rising, the first album by the boy band 98 Degrees. All right? And they were great. That was Nick Lachey. He went on to be famous from that group.
Jessica Simpson, right? He married her.
He married her. Best song on that album, of course, I Do Cherish You, in parentheses. And there was a cameo by Screech in that video.
Wow.
Yeah, I remember that. All right. Number one movie in America is he? Oh, that's right. I forgot he died.
That was pretty sudden. They were like, oh yeah, by the way, he has cancer. And then they were like, oh yeah, by the way, he's dead. I was like, oh, damn, that was sad.
Poor Dustin Diamond. Although he was an asshole. I've read a lot about the Saved by the Bell days.
Yeah, but it was still sad.
Of course it's sad if Screech just... I don't like the idea of Screech being dead. He should be screeching it out somewhere.
Of course. I don't like to think about him screeching for his last breath. I want him screeching on the dance floor.
Oh my God. Do you think he screeched at the very end?
I don't know what to think about it.
Like one last death screech. All right. The number one movie in America, Logan.
Yeah.
Debuting at number one is Practical Magic, a witch movie with Sandy B and Nicole Kidman. I love Nicole Kidman. I see her every week at the AMC.
I saw her too for Guardians.
Yeah. Wonderful sound on a huge silver screen. All right?
Yeah.
Heartbreak feels good in a place like this.
You nailed it.
Yeah, thank you. We make movies better. All right.
She really does.
I mean, she does. Yeah, AMC doesn't, but she does. You know what bothers me about that commercial?
What's that?
They say it's like the 50th anniversary of AMC, and then they show the years, and it's like 1950 to 2000. or no, it's like, or whatever it is to 2020. And I'm like, it's 2023, AMC. This is no longer your anniversary year.
I
Get
didn't
the
even
fuck
think
out
about
of
it,
here.
that's an anniversary thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't really thought about that.
Drives me nuts. All right. Anyway, number 2 at the box office, Bride of Chucky, of course, debuting at number 2.
Great job. It worked.
Yeah.
All the campaigning on Monday Night Raw.
It was Nitro, sir. Monday Night Raw would never stoop so low.
They've done way worse.
I know. Since. All right, number 3, Ants. Number 4, Rush Hour, still hanging in there after 5 weeks. And number 5, disappointing at number 5 is Jonathan Demme's Beloved, which cost like $80 million to make and tanked. Everyone thought it was going to be nominated for Oscars and shit. It's kind of
something
bad.
We covered came out this week.
I know. Coming in at number 15, an indie release, Happiness.
Yeah, I thought that was really cool.
Yeah.
Happiness came out.
I was excited to see
one of the best movies we've covered.
I agree.
Yeah, like an actual movie.
All right. And over on Monday Night Raw, they're dealing with the aftermath of the Judgment Day pay-per-view. Now, that pay-per-view, the main event was Kane versus The Undertaker for the WWF title. And Stone Cold Steve Austin was the special guest referee. And Vince McMahon said if he doesn't declare a winner, then he's fired.
Yeah, so what happened?
Well, I'll tell you what. He didn't declare a winner. He knocked them both out and then covered them and counted 1, 2, 3 and declared himself the winner. Yeah. And Vince McMahon fired him. But then the next night on Monday Night Raw, of course, he went ahead and kidnapped Vince McMahon, tying him up and torturing him for the length of an episode of Raw before getting him out into the ring, making him get on his knees, holding a gun to his head as the crowd cheered for Vince McMahon's impending murder. And then he shot the gun, and a little flag came out of the end of the gun that just said, bang, 316.
Oh, I've seen that. Damn, that's great. Nobody's doing it like Austin.
I know, man. Austin was the best. All right.
You actually think that? Was he your favorite one?
I think he had something special that no one else ever has been able to capture.
Yeah, really.
Like he was as big as Hulk Hogan was in his day, but he had like an element of danger about him, and he was funny. And Stone Cold's the best to ever do it.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. Okay.
And Evan Bourne, those two.
I mean Matt Sydal?
Yes.
Yeah. All right. This episode written by Marty Noxon, back again after just writing an episode 2 weeks ago, Dead Man's Party. And again, directed by James Whitmore Jr. They've got a little team going. They've now done 3 together. I Only Have Eyes for You, Dead Man's Party, and this one, the weakest of the 3. And all right, that's all I got. Let's hear them notes.
All right, so my first question: why is Oz suddenly turning into a werewolf all the time?
He turns into a werewolf once a month.
What does that mean?
3 days out of the month.
I forgot about that. I forgot that it's multiple days.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we haven't seen this, and then suddenly it's like every night they're like, gotta watch Oz. It's like, what happened?
Well, this episode just happens to take place during the full moon.
Yeah, I forgot that it's a multiple day thing. I forgot about that.
Yeah, it's the day before and after the full moon, and then it's the worst on the day of.
Yeah, well, that was my main question this episode. Why is he? Well, I forgot about that. So Xander comes in. Basically, he takes over for Willow, maybe.
Well, first we get some crazy voiceover of them quoting "The Call of the Wild" by Jack London. I just wanted to point that out because
it starts. So it's this one is a Buffy voiceover, right?
Yeah, but then it turns into a Willow voiceover.
Right, but that's her reading the book to Oz?
Yeah, she's reading that book aloud to Oz.
But was it Buffy reading the
Yeah,
book to Oz?
it sort of fades into Willow.
But then at the end, is it Buffy again
Yeah,
reading
it's
the book to
Buffy
Oz?
again at the end.
Oh, yeah, I didn't really
I don't
understand.
think she's reading it to Oz at the end. I think we're just getting it in VO.
Okay, yeah, that's what I thought. I didn't really know if it worked or not. But
I don't think it really does.
okay, so it starts out Willow is watching Oz, and then
Yeah.
Xander comes in to watch Oz, and Xander he falls asleep, right?
But like, it's like you could forgive it if like Xander he was watching Oz, and then it's like 5 a.m. and he like falls asleep for a couple hours. He goes to sleep immediately. Like Willow leaves that room, and Xander just lays down on the table with his head on a book.
Yeah, he's not even like laying down reading. He's not even putting any effort. He's laying down with the intent to sleep.
Yes.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. And then there's a kill that happens that night, and they don't know what happened. That's
there's some the kill the dead body was mauled, and so there's some concern that Oz broke out and did it because there was like an open window. But also, like, you think the werewolf would have like made its way back in there through the window? And
yeah,
I don't know.
I thought that it was Angel. We also learned that Oz and Willow's like because Xander makes a remark at one point. He doesn't want to see him like in the full Monty, I think.
Yeah.
And Willow talks about the half Monty. So it seems like they're taking some serious steps. I don't know which steps, but
they aren't having sex. I like to think Willow's giving him a nice HJ at the end of the night.
Yeah. Does half Monty mean like second base?
I'm not really sure what it means, but that's my theory.
Or does half Monty mean like she's seen him with his shirt off? I don't know.
It
can mean a lot of things.
I think Willow's not doing that thing she does with her mouth yet, but I think that she's getting her hand down there.
All right, that's fair to assume. So B and Faith, they are patrolling. Right?
I like when Buffy in the last episode, she's just like, "Oh yeah, F."
F is such a bad like B works. Like you could call your friend B, but F is terrible. Like you would never call someone F. So we learned Buffy has been on a few dates with Scott Hope, right?
Yeah, they're going steady.
Yeah, it was weird seeing them kiss at one moment. I did not like that.
Yeah, I didn't care for it either.
Didn't like it. I didn't like this either, really. Faith mentioned only because it's. I guess Noxon wrote it, but I couldn't help but think of Whedon. Anything coming from this show, I think is a little weird now. She mentions like a down low tingle, but I guess I shouldn't have thought of that because it is written by.
Yeah, that's a Marty Noxon line.
Yeah,
my girlfriend laughed at it, so I didn't think it was weird.
Yeah, no, it's fine. Yeah, I need to stop doing that. And so then we see the attack. Something attacks somebody. And we go to school. This is where we meet Debbie and Pete. You like Debbie and Pete?
No.
No? Not Debbie? I was sad when she died.
They're okay as like a monster of the week couple, but...
When she died, I was upset.
I know, but they're an abusive couple. It's hard to watch. It's very real.
Yeah, but it's sad.
Yeah. Neither of these actors went on to much. Debbie... she was an improv comedian. You'd see her around. She might still be. Pete didn't really pan out for him, but they're an attractive couple. Well, Pete's attractive.
Come on. And I have a question here. Debbie talks about how she goes to see. Buffy sort of mentions how she has to go see Mr. Platt to see if she's
the school
welcome back
therapist.
To school. Right. And Debbie talks about how she goes to see him, but she doesn't like him.
Yeah.
Why is that?
I think just because he probably can tell she's a battered woman and asks leading questions about that make her uncomfortable.
Yeah. When everything came together and it was like, and it turned out her boyfriend was just turning into a monster, that didn't make sense. Why she didn't like him? Like they were setting up maybe he's bad, but when it turned out he wasn't, I was like, what? Well, then why didn't she like him?
No, it's because fucking battered women, Logan. They can't see beyond their own shit. Like they love their man despite the fact that he's beating the shit out of them. So it's like anyone who threatens that She doesn't want to hear that shit.
I understand. I get it now.
Yeah. She's
good.
broken, as Buffy says. She was broken before this.
Yeah, she does say that. So we learned that the name of the guy that died, his name was, tell me if this is right, I wrote Jeff Arkin. Is that right?
I think it's Orkin with an O.
Oh, I messed up. So Jeff Orkin, he's the guy that died. Very sad for him. And maybe it's Oz. Maybe Oz is the one that did it, right?
Yeah. There are 3 suspects in this episode.
Yeah. Oz, Pete, Debbie. I don't know.
No, Angel.
All right. Well, we don't know that yet. So
well,
then
we know he's back. So.
Well, not yet. She says later, like she might have had a dream. She doesn't even really know yet.
No, she just says that to.
Oh, she seemed really genuine. That was great acting by Sarah Michelle Gellar.
She found him. She found him in the woods. Remember?
Oh, had she already chained him up? She
chained him up and shit. Yeah.
Oh, in that moment, I thought she really didn't know if it was real or not. I was like, oh, wow. Whoa,
no,
okay.
She's concerned it might be him. That's why she asks, like, was he bit? Was it a vampire? She's trying to figure out whether it was Angel.
Yeah.
But, yeah, when she comes across Feral Angel, he's
great this episode, by the way.
Yeah, she sweeps aside Drusilla's dolls and gets at this, like, chest where she finds chains. I think they were like, it's implied that Spike and Drew were like using them chains.
Wow, I didn't really think about that.
Yeah,
but all right. You're right. So, all right, so here we go. I won't spend too much time on it, but I have to say, I don't know how it came up yesterday, why you told me that he was coming in this episode, but it would have been an amazing reveal if I didn't know.
I know. I'm sorry. I felt bad about that.
No, it's all right.
Here's what happened. I looked it up. I was on the potty last week one night, and I didn't know what else to do on my phone, so I looked up the next 2 episodes of Buffy that we were going to be watching, and I looked up that actor. I was like, what have I seen that dude in? And I noticed he was in a lot of episodes of The Sweet Life of Zach and Cody.
It's probably one of his main credits.
Yeah,
I would assume.
So I had that in my head, and then Sweet Life of Zach and Cody, because every time I talk to Logan, that show comes up. And so it came up yesterday or 2 days ago, and I was like, God, who did I just read was in a lot of episodes of Zach and Cody? And then I remembered and I said it. Yeah. And so I spoiled that for you. I'm sorry.
That's all right. It's all right. But it would have been a fantastic reveal. And he has a little goatee. I think he looks incredible.
Yeah. You even meet him like turned around.
Yeah.
So it would have been
the reveal.
Yeah, the reveal would have been great for you.
Yeah, he's got that little cigarette.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's cool. And even Buffy likes him. Buffy's like, hey Debbie, what's your beef? I like them. I didn't really understand what you didn't see in him. And he plays this guy, Mr. Platt. This is Mr. Mosby, by the way. I guess we didn't say that from Sweet Life of Zach and Cody.
It's Phil Lewis. Yeah.
He's the manager of the hotel that they stay at.
But I saw he's also on the deck. On deck. So
yeah, he shows up.
What, is he just like they're getting visits from the fucking manager of their hotel?
All right, so basically London, it's the Tipton Hotel. London Tipton is Brenda Song. Her dad owns the hotel. But then he also owns this cruise ship, I think, that they go on for school or something like that. And so sometimes the manager goes on there and they visit, and I don't know. Did that explain anything?
No.
All right. Well, I think the ship is owned by the hotel owner, Tipton's dad.
Brenda Song's
dad. I think so. Something like that. Anyway, so I liked seeing him. It was cool. He has like one scene, and then the next scene, he's dead, basically, right?
Yeah, wild that he's just smoking a cigarette in the school.
I'll tell you. I sent my brother a text message. And I said, Mr. Mosby, it was a screenshot. I said, Mr. Mosby in an episode of Buffy, maybe future episodes because he's a guidance counselor. He said, that's cool. And then the next screenshot I said, he won't be back. And it was just him
with his eye missing and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was just that back to back. It was so soon.
Yeah.
It was great to see him while he was there. I really liked him.
Sure. Yeah. Mr. Platt, he's a nice character. He's one of those like authority figures that understands Buffy that immediately dies. It reminded me of Dr. Gregory in Teacher's Pet.
Which one is that again?
The Praying Mantis episode.
No. The
Oh, Dr. Gregory was like the science teacher, and like he like talks to Buffy about her potential and shit, and like really like builds Buffy up. Like, you're smart. I don't understand why you don't put more effort into school. And then he like immediately gets killed by Miss French.
Oh, I guess I don't remember that as much, but I'll remember.
Don't you remember
forever.
Buffy finds his glasses at the end of the episode and hangs them up and like, hey, see you,
Yes.
Dr. Gregory.
Yes. What was the teacher that somebody tried to kill in a bag? Put a bag over their face. Was that the Invisible episode?
Yeah, that was the Invisible episode.
Okay. That was a woman teacher, though, right?
It sure was.
Yes. Maybe a black woman
It
teacher?
was a black woman. Yes.
Yeah, wow. Look at them. So Buffy goes on patrol, right? And she sees like somebody running around the woods. She's like, what is that? What's going on? And then who is it?
It's our old friend Liam.
Yep, there he is. And he says, hey, Buffy, what are you doing in the woods here? This is my territory.
No, really, all his lines this week are.
Yeah, he's like Nebula and Gamora talking to each other, where they're just like, and they just grunt at each other.
I don't remember
right?
that.
Okay, sorry. While Buffy is patrolling, Giles told the rest of the people to go to the morgue to find out if the body at the morgue was killed by a werewolf or what the marks look like, right?
Yeah.
And so, but they don't really. I guess they don't really find out too much.
It's inconclusive.
I don't really know.
They're like, Prob's not a vampire, but like it could easily be a werewolf.
Well, they're not even thinking to look for a vampire, are they? I think they're going to.
Well, but Buffy, because she finds Angel the next morning, is like, were there bite marks?
All right, I think that's when Giles really starts to put it together.
Yeah.
That he's actually alive, not just a dream. So Buffy is watching Oz, and this is where she. So I thought this was interesting. Shirtless Oz. We see shirtless Oz. Giles lets him out of the cage. Shirtless. I thought he was really fair skinned. Is that the way?
He's very pale.
Very pale. Yeah.
Think about this. What if
he's directly in the sunlight too?
What if anybody, a student, a teacher, Snyder, what if someone walked into the library?
Yep.
Right at that moment, as a teacher, the librarian, Mr. Giles,
shirtless student,
is just looking down at a passed out, naked student locked in the fucking book delivery. The book, what is it?
The book placement
depository.
Cage.
Yeah. It's
it's crazy, right?
It's insane.
Yeah, it was pretty funny to see, but it happened. And so I thought that this was cool. The whole backstory that they give Angel for like what happened while he was gone. Basically, he how he's been tortured for like hundreds of years in his time while he's been gone. So there's probably nothing left of him, like no humanity left.
Yeah. Giles says time
like
moves
that.
different in a hell dimension. Buffy goes, I remember, because she's thinking about Anne.
Anne, yeah, man. So this is where we get that other donut thing. Willow comes in with that donut thing. So why did Buffy leave lunch? That she's at lunch with her new pals, and then she gets up and leaves. She feels uncomfortable for some reason.
I don't remember.
Yeah, I thought it was interesting. And then she goes and visits Angel, and Angel's all like, and then she leaves. I don't know. But so Debbie and Pete, they go in that room. Is that where we're at?
Yeah.
And there's like that green juice, and he's like, hey, you fucked with my green juice. And she's like, no, I didn't. What happened to it? I didn't really understand. I don't know.
And he's like, I don't even fucking need green juice anymore, bro.
Yeah, watch this.
Yeah.
And so he was taking it because he was like, he wanted to be more manly for her.
Yeah. The whole thing is a riff on Jekyll and Hyde. This is one of Buffy's, like, classic monster episodes where they try to do that, like Phases with werewolves, or Dead Man's Party with zombies, or Some Assembly Required with like Frankenstein.
This one didn't land as well.
No, it fucking didn't, because Jekyll and Hyde is way more specific than any of those things. That's like an actual character in American literature, and so like it's hard to transpose that onto like some random high schoolers who are meeting for the first time.
And there's so many other characters that for like this other, like this is like the third or fourth new character we meet for this guy, for them just be like, oh yeah, this was like the Jekyll and Hyde episode and that's the guy. And you're like,
Yeah.
well, that didn't really work.
I agree.
I didn't really understand. But he does. I thought that they had like some real Scooby-Doo movie, like the live action Sarah Michelle Gellar Scooby-Doo movie effects. Like when he turned, like he's shaking his head and he turns into the monster.
I like that, yeah.
I thought that was serious Scooby-Doo. Like they do that in those movies.
Did you notice that?
I thought that was cool.
Did you notice that when Willow goes to the morgue in this episode, she's holding a Scooby-Doo lunchbox?
Yes, I did. I did. Was that hers?
Yeah.
I guess I didn't even think about that. Like I sort of thought she found that in the place. That's pretty cool. I'm sure she thought it was cool when her friend got cast in the movie.
Probably.
Right? That's still going at that time. That's like a 2000 movie.
Yeah, that hadn't happened yet.
No, definitely not. And so what happened? So Platt died. Debbie's got a black eye, and Oz sees her, and then Pete sees Oz with her, and he's like, "Damn, like they're hooking up." I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. So wait, why does he feel so self-conscious? He's like manly now. He's taking all this stuff. Why is he threatened by Oz?
Well, he just seems like a jealous weirdo.
Yeah, I don't know. Okay. Why doesn't he need the potions anymore? Why is he just turning into a monster?
I think he took enough of the potions that now it's like permanently in him, and so whenever he gets angry enough, it's almost just like a Hulk transformation.
Okay, because Faith says at one point she's just like all men are monsters early in the episode.
Yeah,
but then later
theme of the episode.
Right, so I didn't know if he was just turning into a monster I don't know if the potion was even had any effect at all, or if he was just turning into a monster because he's a guy and guys are monsters. I didn't know if it worked or not.
It's just a metaphor. It's like the metaphor of Angel turning evil after having sex with Buffy for the first time. It's similar to that in that it's just like.
But at that point, we've done so much with the Angel backstory that makes sense to me. This is just, I feel like they didn't do enough for me to understand.
No, I agree with you. It's just the central metaphor of the episode is like, some men, when they get angry enough, they turn into monsters.
Yeah, that's fine. But to get there, I didn't think it worked that well. But anyway, so we go to the bathroom. They sort of interrogate Debbie in the bathroom. They're like, hey, what's going on with your boyfriend? Is he like abusing you or what's going on? But she likes him too much. She doesn't really want to give it up.
Yeah.
And so Pete goes to Oz. He locked himself in the cage.
I like that scene.
This fight scene?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a great fight scene. I remember when what's that werewolf episode called?
Phases?
Yeah, in Phases, when I feel like I like the costume better in that episode.
They changed it. It in that episode it has a snout. And now It's got more of a snub nose. Did you notice that?
I didn't really notice that. What I noticed is that he looks more like a monkey, I feel like.
That's fair.
I feel like he's got like a little tail and he's like pretty short and primate-like. I don't know. I like the other one more.
I used to think this was better, but I kind of
you said that. You said that in Phases. You said you think it gets better. And I don't know if they change it from here.
They do. I feel like they're constantly working on it and trying to make it better.
I also thought the angel makeup looked more different than it's ever looked in this episode.
Oh, that's interesting.
Like when Vampire Angel.
I didn't notice that.
No, I don't know if it looked better or worse. I just think it looked slightly different than it has. It looked a little more menacing.
Yeah, it might have been a little more animalistic.
Yeah. And Giles gets tranked here. They end up tranking Giles.
I like that moment. That's fun.
Yeah, I think Debbie pushes him. She's like, "Don't get my boyfriend," and so they get him.
Yeah.
And so there's like a big chase. People are chasing Oz. People are chasing Peter, and so Buffy chases Peter down, and this is where she finds Debbie dead. And I have to say, I was actually pretty sad. I was sad. I guess you didn't like her, but I was.
Well,
sad
it's definitely tragic. Like you'd like to see her like figure shit out and like get out of that relationship, but it ultimately leads to her death.
Yeah. And so Buffy ends up fighting His name's Pete, and then so Angel shows up, right, and he fights him, and then he ends up snapping his neck, just like he did Jenny. Pretty sad. And I thought he was great here, where he's hugging Buffy and he's all crying and he's like, Buffy, Buffy. And she's great too, where she's like, what the fuck is happening? I thought he was going to be like, no humanity. Why is he hugging me? What's going on right now? Great. I thought that was all really, really great. And I think the only real contenders for MVP, I think, are Buffy and Angel in this episode. But I think it's really, you can only go Buffy. But
I think Oz.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe. I think he should have got a little spray tan. No,
I like that moment where he like tries to walk out, like he hates the conversation they're having, and he tries to do like a guy. What does he say? I don't know. Like he's trying to storm out of the conversation, but he can't because it's getting to be like 5:30, and the sun's gonna go down.
Yeah,
I don't know. I like Oz, and I think he's my MVP.
He's kind of the most Oz he's been in this episode.
Very Oz.
I feel like they gave him a lot of Ozzy Oz stuff.
Actually, Willow, I think this is the one where Willow says like he's just being Oz, and Oz goes pretty much full time.
Yeah, right. Yeah. And they're right. Every line is so Oz. Yeah, that's fine. But I'm gonna go Buffy. And we're not there yet anyway.
Oh, so he has that fun line about the marching jazz band, about how the best jazz is improvisational, so they just march in different directions and bump into each other. I thought that was funny.
All right. So he was in the band with Debbie. That's what it was.
He had been in previous years, yeah.
Oh, and then why did he quit?
He just like he's a super senior now. He's like, I'll just spend my time fucking with my girlfriend.
I forgot about that. And the guy at the beginning also was in the band too. Like that's why he died, because the boyfriend didn't want him around.
Yeah, that's right. He used to horse around with Debbie in the band.
Oh yeah, and Faith is like, they used to fuck.
Yeah.
I think she says screw. She's like, they used to screw.
She does, yeah. Which is very Massachusetts, by the way.
Yeah, I thought that was funny.
Yeah.
All right, but then they go back to school, and Cordelia's like, what happened? I've been gone this whole episode. And they're like, oh, this guy felt like he was a simp, and he wanted to be real cool, so he took like this potion, and then he got aggressive and killed people. And she's like, oh, crazy episode. Sounds a little boring, though. I'm glad I wasn't around. and then so what? I don't know what happens. And then Buffy voiceover.
Yeah. Call of the Wild quote.
Oh, she goes to talk to Scott. Scott's on the bench, and she talks to him. Well, does she end things?
No, they make up.
So that's how this ends. They're still together?
Yeah, they're still together at the end of this one.
All right, and we've also got Angel back, but we don't really know to what extent, I guess. So that'll be interesting to follow how she handles that. I'm liking it. I guess my biggest thing was like, how did she know Angel was gonna go? That didn't really make sense to me. But we're past it now. Angel's back. Who cares? I like it. Thought everything was great. I'll give it 3 stars.
All right. I think after this, there's no bad episode. This is the weakest episode of the whole season.
Love it.
I'll even give it a 2.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
It's got Mosby though. Miriam. His name is Miriam. I think Miriam Mosby.
That's more exciting for you.
Yeah, I guess so. He had a cool goatee. All right.
And a great cigarette.
Oh, yeah, that's cool. She comes in, it's all burnt out.
Yeah.
That's the moment where I thought, like, they don't really waste anything in Buffy. You know, like, everything's so specific. Like, even that cigarette was that was the first thing I noticed. I guess most people, maybe it's the first thing you notice on purpose. But the first thing I noticed when she met him was that cigarette. And then later, the reveal is because of the cigarette. I just thought that was great.
It's a very well thought out show.
Yeah, way to go, Noxon, I guess, right?
Yeah, for this one.
So 3 stars. My MVP is Buffy. Yours is Oz. My LVP. Who you go first? Because I wrote Cordelia, but I don't want to.
Get the fuck out. It's Pete.
Oh, Pete. I guess I go Pete. Yeah. Don't kill Debbie. Come on, bro.
Yeah, bitch.
It's like the end of Van Helsing where he kills.
Hey, don't spoil Van Helsing for everybody.
Yeah,
I mean, I've seen it 3 times, and I still have no memory of anything that happened in that movie, but maybe someone else wants to see it.
He turns into a werewolf and kills Kate Beckinsale.
I have no memory of that.
What? Yeah. One of the greatest parts in any movie is at the end of Van Helsing when he kills Kate Beckinsale as a werewolf, and he's like, "How?" No! And he turns into Hugh Jackman, and he's screaming no. He goes from like howling to no, and he's crying and he's holding her.
That sounds
my God.
horrible, and I have no memory of it.
Come on, and then they set her body on fire, and her face is in the clouds at the end.
I kind of do remember that.
They look up and her face is in the clouds.
That is so dumb.
We gotta do a commentary track for Van Helsing one day.
That'll be fun.
That's like in the top 5 of things. If I made a list of things we needed to do, that would be on there. All right, so our LVP is Pete. I agree with that.
Yes.
Oh, I guess we got to rank this. I have not ranked this one. You can go first.
Yeah, read it from the bottom.
All right, from the bottom to the top. I, Robot, You, Jane. That's stupid. Puppet Show. Killed by Death, Reptile Boy, Bad Eggs, Inca Mummy Girl, Go Fish. That's crazy that's that low. Go Fish.
Wait, hang on. What's before Bad Eggs?
Like under it?
Yeah.
Reptile Boy.
And what's under that?
Killed by Death.
You pop that between those two.
All right, so you have it 35 out of 38. And I will put it... What's Nightmares?
That's the first season episode with the
little boy, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, goddamn. Is this better than that one?
I like that one more. That one's got like Xander showing up naked in class. And
that's good.
And Buffy turns into a vampire and it's sexy.
I think I'm going to put this between Reptile Boy and Killed by Death.
That's exactly where I have it.
Oh, are you serious? Between those two? Exactly?
Yeah.
Oh, but I have it 31. I think you had it 35, so I like it a little more, I guess.
Okay.
But I have help. I have the the first episode 2-parter. Hellmouth
you have
and
that
Harvest.
super low.
I have that low, and you don't. So, yeah. All right. Well, this was fun. I thought we did a great job.
Pat on the back. All right.
Well, I thought they gave us some good stuff. I think Faith is cool. I thought they cool. It was cool to introduce Faith.
Yeah, and I'm glad we got to see her in both episodes too. She didn't run away immediately.
That was cool. Got to see Trick come back though.
We will next week.
Cool.
All right. The next week on Buffy's Angels, we'll be covering episode 5, which is called Homecoming, because it's time for the homecoming dance.
Yeah, I'm going to guess that Buffy's at the homecoming dance, and then trouble starts to happen. but then she's like, oh, but don't even worry. Iron Man's going to come save me. That's what happens.
Oh, my God. All right. And then episode 6 is entitled Band Candy.
I'm going to guess this is... somebody joins the, it's Willow, right? Because the American Pie, right? And she joins the band, and they have band candy, but that's really drugs. They all take drugs, but they call it band candy.
Yeah.
I'm going to guess that's what happens.
It's
By the way,
like
I think of that.
Go Fish episode.
Yes. I thought of that because I watched American Pie 2 this week. Stay tuned tomorrow. Talk about it.
Yeah. She's prominent in that one.
Yeah, they spoiler alert, they get together in that one.
Yeah, for sure.
Very cute in that one. That's a few years from now. We won't get there until a few years.
Biggs and Hannigan have nice little chemistry.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah. All right. So stay tuned next week. We'll be back here tomorrow for Hey, I'm Watching Here. I'll tell you all about Lost and the Connors and the Rookie. And I might watch The Hateful Eight today, so I'll let you know about that.
Wow. Henry did recently, and I think he gave it a 5. I think it might have gone up for him.
Nice. It's my favorite.
That was cool.